All right, 360 in the house, and we are doing another class. This one is extremely important. Most people, when they get into trading, they are cart before the horse. So instead of setting their foundation and learning the things that they need to learn first, great and amazing and very important things like risk management, money management, and loss prevention, they jump right into, hey, where's my trade setups? Let me just do a trade and so on and so forth. Well, this is another one of those basic but very vital classes that you need to have, because this set right here, this lesson right here that we're going into, is basically your secret weapon to enabling you to continue to evolve, track, and improve yourself as a trader. So do not bypass these lessons and jump right into trade setups and just jump into the deep end of the ocean. You really, really need these things right here, because it's really these foundational classes that set you up for success and make sure that you are able to stay in the game of trading and you don't get knocked out quick. You already know the statistic. Less than 10% are successful, and the number of people that get kicked out as over 6 months and then a year just grows and grows until by the time a year and a half has gone by, most traders that started out are done, they're gone. So this class right here on these weapons that we're going to be talking about is very, very important. So please take this whole class. It's just going to set you up for success. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we need to do here. This class is on trading journal. All right, so these are your secret weapons. So it's a 4-part. Your trading journal package is basically a 4-part weapon, if you want to call it that. The first one we're going to talk about is of course, your spreadsheet trade tracker. You don't want to start taking a bunch of trades and not tracking them. And then, a week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks goes by and you don't even remember anything about your trade. So we're going to talk about making sure that you have a spreadsheet so that you can track everything that you're doing and that you have that record, because you're going to need it. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the trading journal. Then we're going to talk about your printer. And then we're going to talk about the folders or accordion file system. So this is what we're going to be covering in this lesson. So spreadsheet trade tracker, look, some of you guys are old school. Some of you guys are digitally successful. I don't care how you do this. This is just an example. And at the bottom of this page here, you can see the link. You're not going to be able to click on it because it's a video, but if you type that link into your browser, you will be able to pull up this free, investor.com provides this for free, and it tracks everything for you for your trade. So it lets you put in, your date, your ticker, the quantity that you're trading, the price, your entry, your exit, and your exit value. And then you'll enter everything into the kind of the orange beige spot, and it will automatically calculate everything else for you. So this is already mathematically set up to work for you. I'm not a math genius. I use calculator, so this will automate that for you. So you can look at the top right here, your trading metrics, where it calculates your reward to risk ratio, your wins to losses, and then your win-loss ratio. Those will automatically be put in there for you based on what you insert in your trade info in your protective stop area. So this is a way for a simple spreadsheet. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you handwrite it in pen and you want to figure, your trading metrics out on your own because you love math. There's also a ton of websites that you can, I believe there's some free ones. There's a ton that you can pay for a subscription. Tons of websites. Just go on Google and look up trading journal and you can subscribe. Some are like $15 a month, $30 a month, where they will enter all this data. You'll enter some of the data and it will calculate everything for you and give you incredible spreadsheets with graphs and charts. So how crazy do you want to get about it? Look, as a rookie, I wouldn't be paying money for that. I would get this free. If you don't have your own, I would download this free spreadsheet trade tracker. Just simply input, let it calculate for you. And then look, as you start making mad bank, mad money, and you want to go online and subscribe, $20, $30 a month for an incredible program that not only will work this out for you, but will show you graphs and digital analytics and just a whole lot of other things to help you with your trades. You can do that. But as a rookie, this is really all you need. I mean, it's simple. I'm not about, I don't get too crazy with technology. All right. This is very simple. The math is done for you. All you got to do is put your input in the trade info area and bang, it's going to knock out your trading metrics for you. So you got to have this. You're going to need it for taxes anyway. You're going to need to be tracking all this, and you don't want to get behind. So don't be like, hey, I'm going to wait till I've been trading for 2 months, because then you're going to have a backlog of data. You're going to have forgotten your entries. You're going to have forgotten all that information. You have to go try to pull it down from your broker. You don't want to be doing all that. From day one, you want to be logging, and this is a great way to do that. So your spreadsheet trade tracker, you've got to have it. It gives you the ability to look back at how your trading is doing. And how is your strategy working for you? What is your win-loss ratio? And are you winning more than you lose? This is what this will do for you. So you need to have it, and you can constantly look at it. So make sure you have this in some format, in some way, shape, or form. All right, let's move on. All right, now let's get on to your journal. This is going to be basically a way to catalog your routine, your daily routine, the strategy and rules that you're going to operate by, and then also you have a position or a spot for your daily diary. Let's talk about your routine. So the first part of your trading journal is going to be your routine, and I've posted this in several locations, and I'll make sure this is also posted in the course. But you want to make sure that your daily routine around trading is structured, organized, focused, and ready. So some of you guys live some chaotic lives. For me, my trading day begins in the morning because I'm on US time. So, legacy markets open at 0830 Central Standard Time, but the crypto markets, they're 24/7, but there are times when that volume comes in, and that's why my routine is based on morning. So I have a routine where I get up every morning. I'm going to show you my sample routine here in just a minute. But everything about how my trading setup is going, my trading life is going, is structured around this routine, and then it's organized, and then it enables me to be focused for the trading day. So, if you're trading full time, this is easier to do. If you're trading on the side, as your side hustle, you're going to have to really work this out and write down how that works for you. Some of you guys are doing other jobs while you're trading, so this is going to look different for everybody. But as long as it's structured, as long as you can give your trading system some structure, you can organize it, and you can focus it, and that will let you be ready for the trading day and how that looks for you. Then it doesn't have to look like mine, but let's look at what mine looks like to give you an idea. So as you know, I'm full-time, but there's things that I do in the morning that are every single morning. Okay. So, I get up in the morning, I'm going to drink water, and I'm going to take my dogs out. And then as soon as I come in, I'm usually up by 0500 in the morning. So I have time before volume starts coming in and almost everyone else starts coming into the markets to do all this. So I'm doing this before legacy markets open and before real volume comes into the crypto trading markets on the US time schedule. The first thing I'm doing is I'm assessing my mental state, my emotional state. How am I doing? Can I trade today, or is there things that are wrong in my life that would keep me from making good decisions? So I'm assessing that and working my way through that. And if I can't, then I don't trade for the day. Then I won't trade for the day. But if I can work my way through it, identify those things and navigate around those, which I teach a whole nother class on psychology, then I will go ahead and move on. So I'm going to be checking all the overnight global markets, both legacy stock markets and cryptocurrency markets. I'm going to be looking for breaking global news events. I'm going to be looking for economic macro dates, writing those down in my trading journal or my notebook. I'm going to be checking the DXY, the dollar, to see how that is and how that relates to other markets. I'm going to be looking at the futures markets, so to look for pre-market action based on what's happening on stocks. Then I'm going to be checking the Bitcoin and Ethereum market structure. Why? Because all of crypto swings from the pendulum of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I'm going to be looking at them first and then zooming in to identify key levels for the day. And I can set alerts. And then I'm going to be looking at the altcoin market as a whole to identify the vibe of altcoin markets versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to be reviewing and reassessing any open positions. And I'm going to be going into my watch list of trade setups to see how those look and to see what needs to hit for me to actually activate those trades. And then with the extra time that I have before market open or before that market volume comes into crypto, it's going to give me time to look at new trade setups. Yes, so I do all of this every morning. So if you're not getting up or you're not ready before the market open, before that, generally in the crypto markets, we don't get a lot of volume until the legacy markets or stock markets open. So you have time even in the crypto markets, even though it's 24/7, to do things and prepare for volatility or volume for the day. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. This is just an example. You have to figure out how you're going to get this done. Your list might be smaller than mine because you're new. It might not be this big. Maybe you don't know a lot about economics. You don't know how those things affect the market. So yours might be a little smaller than this, but I wanted to give you an example of what that looks like. This needs to be in your journal or in your trading notebook so that you can look at it every day and go down the checklist. Next item that needs to be in there, and whether this is in your daily trading journal diary or whether this is in a separate notebook, is up to you. It would be awesome to have a separate notebook just for this, or to have your daily trading diary journal divided so that you can have this in a separate category. So this is going to be your strategies and your rules. So as you, in order to take a trade, you're trading a system or a strategy, period. So you want to divide this up by market type. You're going to have strategies for trending markets and strategies for ranging markets. They're not going to be the same. They're going to be different. That's why you want to divide that up. Then you're going to divide those up into swing, day, and scalp. This scalp is very, very short term, much smaller time frame type strategies. Day is a little bit bigger picture, but these are day trades are generally trades you're getting in and out of in the same day or at the earliest the very next day. And then swing is usually can be days or weeks. So again, you can have different strategies, different rules, depending on the market type and depending on the trade style that you're using. Now, if you only learned or know one type, that's all you're going to have and that's all you're going to trade. But as you grow and develop, you can begin to expand your journal, your strategies rules section, to incorporate some of these other things. Don't just start throwing things in there and trying them until you've learned them and you understand the rules and the strategies for them. But this needs to be a very important piece. And like I said, whether it's in your diary journal or whether you have a separate notebook for this, that's completely up to you. You also want to divide you can also, if you want, you don't have to, but you can really get specific and divide your trade type up into, you can set it as you can get as detailed as you want. You can divide it by long and short. You can divide it up by trade types, triple bottoms, pullbacks, head and shoulders. It's completely up to you. You get the point. But the main idea I'm trying to bring across here is this all needs to be in a notebook, very easy to read and organize so you can refer back to them. Because as you're making your trades, you do these trades, you need to be looking to see, did I follow my game plan? Did I follow my strategies? Did I follow my rules? That is what you have to be doing. So you're going to be taking that wonderful trade spreadsheet And you're going to be cross-examining that with your strategy and rules. And you're going to be making notes in your journal. What did you do well? What did you do poorly? What did you violate? What did you follow? If you're not logging this, if you're not journaling this, you are wasting time. You're going to get confused. You're not going to know what works and what doesn't. And you're not going to have a record. Remember, trading is an odds game. Just because you have a couple of losses or a few losses doesn't mean your strategy sucks. Remember, it's over time. If over, several months of trading, your losses are more than your gains, and then something may be wrong, and you can go back and look at your strategy and see what you need to fix. But if you haven't been logging it and you don't have this stuff in writing, written down, you can forget it. You're going to be lost. You're going to be confused. And then you're going to be one of these traders that's constantly jumping from system to system, strategy to strategy, completely in the dark. That is what knocks traders out of the game left and right. Constantly confused, constantly overwhelmed, no system, no structure, no journal, no log, nothing to look at. It's more work than just, let me just place the trade. If I win, I get excited. If I lose, I get depressed. What keeps you from doing that? This does. Having a strategy, having a journal, having records, having rules. That is your secret weapon. And your diary portion. The diary portion of your trading journal is the most important. This lets you write things down. Each day, literally each day you should be writing. Just like a diary. This is the most important part because you're going to be able to look back at this day to day and see how things went. What's your psychological state? Hey, I'm feeling good today. Or hey, I'm trading today. I'm a little on the downside, but I'm following my rules and it went well. Or you can look back and say, hey, I didn't feel that good today. And then you realize, hey, I actually violated my rules. You can look back and see, based on your psychology, you made bad decisions on your trade. So write this stuff down. Identify when there's something psychological going. I write it down. And if it's an extreme psychological state, do not trade that day. And write down no trading day because of this. And then applaud yourself, man. Applaud yourself. If you have trades in the books, you can still, from previous days, you can still play those out because you're not making those trades, you're just finishing them. But don't make new ones if they're extreme psychological. But if you can identify them and say, hey, I'm feeling this type of way, but I have these rules and these regulations. I'm going to follow them no matter what. I've identified this, but I'm not going to let that fear, FOMO, despair, anxiety, depression move me. Write it down. Also, this is a place to write down, hey, what is the, especially around the weekends, Friday, a lot of economic reports come out. It can affect the day. So you want to know those events so you can see those swings on your charts and look for them and make trading decisions based off of those. Hey, I've made some money on this long, but this news release that might come out, it may swing the market negatively. So I may take profits. You don't know that unless you know about those events before time. Then your thoughts and feelings as the day progresses, and then what did you learn each day? Did you learn something new about the day? Write freely, review often. It's your diary. Every day. If you don't have a calendar set up right, hey, this is the 29th, look on here, this is what is today? Today is the 19th of October. At the top, October 19, bang, here's your new entries for that day. Psychological state, days, events, news, your thoughts and feelings. What did you learn through that day? If nothing, then you don't have to write anything. It's not that you're going to learn something new every day, but if you did, write that in there. Write freely, review often. This is a big one, especially for noobs or rookies. I still do this today, especially on things I'm trying. Get your printer. Print every trade that you take. And then write on the chart, whether you write it on there digitally. I'm going to show you an example here in just a second. On the chart, if you use TradingView, you can use text on TradingView and write all this in so it's in there. So when you print it, it's already there. Or you can just print it out and scribble on it with highlighter, pen, pencil, whatever you want. Print every trade. Identify the strategy, the entries, the targets, the stops, and what was the result. Be detailed so that you can review it constantly. You can log it and review it and look at the trade, the successes, the losses. Even on the losses, what did you do good there? Look, on this loss, 360 says never take a large loss. Man, I took a tiny loss here. This was great. And because I have these 3 tiny losses and look at this massive win over here, the system is working. The strategy is working. Here's your example. So on TradingView, you can type all this stuff in. And don't worry about it if you forget something you printed out. You can write additional stuff on it with pen. But you can write on here. And here's a successful hit to target 1. This isn't complete, but I'm giving you an example of how to do that. So you can print this and then write on them and look back on here. And then once you have it printed out, file it. So how you do that is up to you. I don't care whether you have a filing cabinet, use accordion folders, individual folders, but separate it by the wins and by the losses so that you can go back and review. It's not rocket science, but all 4 things we talked about in here are vital. All 4 are your secret weapons to staying in the game. Your spreadsheet trade tracker. It needs to be on point. It needs to be kept up to the date so you have something to look back on. Your notebook or your journal. And then everything that goes in that. Your printer, printing out your trades. And then filing those. That's it. It's simple. It's basic. But if you're not doing this stuff, you're not setting yourself up for success. All right. Hope you enjoyed this class. Until next time, here comes the boom.